Hi, my name is Gigi and I'm from Illinois. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. Ever since I can remember, I have loved cars. I guess it's because my dad is a professional racer. I grew up hanging out with him at the racetrack and his pit crew always treated me like one of their own. Don't get me wrong, I'm totally a girly girl. I love to do makeup, get my nails done, shop for the latest trends, and post selfies on Instagram. But given the choice between a hairbrush and a socket wrench, well, you can't fix a car with a hairbrush. The year I turned 16, my dad was in a terrible accident while racing. It was so hard for my mom to see him in the hospital, but I did the best I could to help by keeping my little brother and sister in line while she was visiting him. I cooked and cleaned, and sure, I hated it, but I had been raised with a pit crew mentality. Everyone pitches in. I missed my dad, and I couldn't wait for things to get back to normal. At night, I would watch NASCAR videos on my phone under the covers, dreaming of the day that it would be me driving. One day at school, our mechanics teacher said he was offering extra credit for anyone who wanted to work on fixing up an old car after class. My arm practically came out of my socket as I raised it to volunteer. The boy sitting next to me sneered. "But you're just a girl." I took a wrench that I had in my zini purse and slammed it on his desk. "Okay, flyboy, what kind of wrench is this?" I was mad, but even though he was dressed in retro style, I couldn't help but notice his wavy blonde hair and steel blue eyes. He was kinda gorgeous. It was like I was watching a unicorn flip his mane in slow motion. I bet you're all thinking, "Focus, girl, this guy is trouble with a capital WTH." And then he answered as if he was teaching me something.
"Torque wrench. I can show you how to use it if you need a lesson."
Oh no, he didn't. The only lesson to learn here is how to get up from the floor when I knocked you out. The whole class laughed at him. He pushed his chair back and got in my face. "Are we gonna fight?" The class started cheering. Did they really want to see me fight this gorgeous, annoying unicorn? Hold on, was this guy my nemesis? Smart, gorgeous, and into cars? Just like me? The teacher stepped in front of me before anything could happen while he stormed out of class. I was sent to the office and he got away. So unfair, right? As I was sitting in the office waiting, I spied him on the football field through the office window. His hood was up, but I knew it was him. I saw him hand another boy a small package in exchange for money. I had no idea what he was up to. I only knew that this is my school, and I had to protect it from bad guys doing shady things.
"Since you're an honor student, I'm letting you leave this time, but I don't want any more messes, and I will talk to Diego about this later."
I thought if the principal wasn't going to take this seriously, I was going to figure out what this guy was really up to. After my next class, I was talking to some cute boys about our favorite subject, NASCAR, and they invited me to go dune buggy racing with them that weekend. Diego must have heard as he walked by.
"Dune buggy? I guess you can't drive a real car."
I followed him to confront him about his rude comment and saw him walk off alone to a lunchroom table. He took a half-eaten apple out of his pocket and started eating it. I stopped myself from gagging at the thought of eating what looked like something you would find in the trash. Gross. I needed to let him know that I was watching his every move, so I walked by him and gave him a dirty look. "What's the matter? Couldn't afford a whole apple?" He stood up, and I thought, this is it. I'm gonna wrestle him to the ground and search his pockets for evidence. Just then, my friends walked up to me, congratulating me for standing up to this bully earlier. But before they even noticed he was there, he put his hood over his head and darted away. "We heard what you did, girl." Chalk one up for girl power. Girls can do anything. I was loving all the positive attention. I was, after all, the hero of this story, but I couldn't believe he didn't challenge me. I expected more of a fight from my mortal enemy. I was thinking that was the end of it. But the next day, I saw him leaning on a locker and talking to another boy and whispering. As soon as they saw me, they stopped and walked in the opposite direction. My spidey senses were tingling. After school, I waited, hiding under the bleachers to follow him home. I had to see for myself what the deal was. My phone rang, startling me, and I nearly jumped out of my skin. It was my mom. I whispered so that I wouldn't give away my hiding spot. "Hi, Mom. I'm kind of busy right now." She asked me to pick up groceries on my way home. I wanted to go to the library. Can I do it after?" I felt bad lying to my mom, but I needed to have time to confront this worm, Diego. He came out the back door of the school, walked across the field to a hole in the fence, and slipped through. "Gotta go. Love you." I followed him, and as I hid from sight, I saw him walk up to this small, broken-down house. 3 little boys came running out to hug him. It was the first time he smiled all day.
Hi, guys. Come on, let's get you into the house before. Just then, a loud car pulled up to the house, and Diego hurried the kids inside for safety. A very large, scary man leaned out of the window and just stared at Diego. Diego was clearly intimidated by this man. He dove into the house like he was trying out for the swim team. The car spun its wheels, screeching so loudly I had to cover my ears, and it took off down the street. But before it left, I managed to take a picture of the license plate. I knew he was up to no good, and now I had the proof. The next day after school, I waited for Diego again, but this time, I stopped him before he ducked through the gate.
What are you doing here? What's going on? Are you breaking the law? Because we don't tolerate that in this school. I mean it, Diego.
Why are you spying on me? Don't you have a life?
I'm super connected at this school. I know everyone, and if you think that you're gonna...
Okay, fine. I'll tell you, but just to get you off my back. That's Leo. He keeps asking me to work for his chop shop, where they steal and sell illegal car parts.
I knew it. You're a criminal. Suddenly, he got really calm and touched my arm. We locked eyes, and for a second, I couldn't explain it, but I wanted to kiss him so badly. I know what you guys are thinking. Love him or hate him, girl, but pick a lane.
No, my dad worked for him as a mechanic, but when he found out that Leo was a criminal, he quit. And now he harasses my family all the time because he knows we're poor, but I always say no. My dad raised me better than that.
My mouth fell open like the Grand Canyon. I guess I never thought about him having good parents. I felt like the crumbs in the bottom of a toaster. I wish I could take back all the mean things I said, but instead, I kissed him. Yeah, I was as shocked as you were, and I was the one doing it.
Are you crazy? First you embarrass me in class, then you follow me around like TMZ, and now you want to be my girlfriend?
A girlfriend? Slow down there, Flash. It was just a kiss.
No, this is a kiss.
He kissed me back, and after a second, he shot me a shy smile. But then I remembered why I was there. Hey, you're trying to distract me.
Did it work?
Never mind that. What was all that sneaking around school, handing people mysterious bags?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were obsessed with me.
You wish. Now answer the question.
If you must know.
He pulled up his sleeve and showed me a leather cuff around his wrist.
I make these out of scraps and sell them. It's the only income I have since my dad isn't working.
I felt like a monster. I wouldn't have been surprised if I had horns and a tail at that very moment. Guys, has anyone ever said to you, don't judge people until you know what they're going through? I'm gonna get that tattooed on my forehead. I'm sorry that I judged you before I got to know you.
And yet, you kissed me.
I felt embarrassed, but then he started talking, and I got to know that he and his brothers live with their foster dad, who wants to adopt them, but he just needs a steady job first. And just then, my phone rang, startling me again. Man, I gotta change that ringtone. Oh, I have to take this. It's my mom. And without even listening to me, she burst into yelling so loudly that I had to hold the phone away from my ear.
You forgot to take out the trash and your brother dumped it all over his bed. Not to mention, I asked you to give your sister a bath. She's so sticky I could hang her from the ceiling.
Diego could hear her because it was so loud, and he laughed. When she heard him, she flipped her switch from angry mom to no personal space mom.
Are you hanging out with a boy?
Oh, Jellyfish, I'm so happy for you. What's his name? Is he cute? I was mortified. Didn't she know he might hear her? Mom, I'll be home soon, okay? She ranted on like a teenager on a sugar rush and yelled louder.
Don't rush on my account. Hello, Jellyfish's new friend.
Ugh, bye, Mom. I hung up and wished I had a time machine to erase that horrible moment.
Parents, right?
I'd better go.
Okay, see you tomorrow, Jellyfish.
Ugh, Mom. Ugh. Well, I couldn't stop thinking about Diego and how they barely had money for food. On my way home, I stopped and bought food to give them. When I got home, my mom saw the extra food, and before I had a chance to explain, she lost her mind.
Are you kidding me with all this extra food? Do you want the kids to call you Gigantic Gigi? But no buts. Except your butt'll get even bigger if you eat all this food.
I was so angry, and besides, I have a great butt. I'll bet JLo's mom never said that to her. Well, I asked her to calm down, and then I explained to her. After that, she flipped her crazy switch back to sweet again.
Oh, why didn't you say so? Let's go bring these to him.
She grabbed her keys, and my jaw hit the floor. How could she go from steaming hot to ice cold at the drop of a hat? We pulled up to Diego's house, but he burst out of the front door.
What are you doing here? Did you tell child services about me? I knew I couldn't trust you.
Was I dealing with another crazy person? Then I saw his little brother snuggled behind him in the doorway, and I realized he was protecting his family like a lion protects his pride. We just brought these groceries.
We don't need your charity. Oh, that's too bad, because I brought peanut butter and jelly. His little brothers trampled him like a herd of gazelles.
Peanut butter and jelly? Yay!
I giggled at their unabashed honesty.
Thank you, nice lady.
Diego told them to take the groceries inside. Sorry, I might have overreacted. Might have? Okay, I'll forgive you if you promise never to call me jellyfish again. Deal. He reached out to shake my hand, but instead pulled me close, took off his wrist cuff, and wrapped it around mine to say thank you for... And just then, my mom honked the horn and interrupted us. Parents, right? Just as we were about to pull away in the car, that same scary dude came screeching around the corner in his loud car. He pulled up next to my mom's car. I was freaking out. Was he gonna try to steal my mom's car? Or hurt her? Stop. Don't you dare try anything. I will not. He tried to stop them, but they laughed and scratched our car just to terrify him. Mom ducked me into the car, and she floored it and sped off down the street like Mario Kart. That Diego is nothing but trouble. You are never going to see him again. No matter what my mom said, I couldn't wait for school to see Diego. But when I got there, I found out that my mom had called the principal and gotten him in trouble, so he would have detention all week. I tried calling Diego, but he didn't answer. So after school, I rushed to his house. It's better you listen to your mom and stay away from me. I don't want you to get hurt. I dashed towards my house and slammed the door open so hard that it shook the wall. Everything okay, Jellyfish? No! You got Diego detention, just so that you could stop me from seeing him? You know he's a great guy. And first, you want me to be friends with him, then you don't. Why have you been acting so crazy lately? I just wanted you to be safe. Since your father's accident, I'm afraid of bad things happening to you. And I just want to protect you from getting hurt. I just love you so much. Oh, Mom, but you can't wrap me in bubble wrap for the rest of my life. You raised me as a strong, smart girl, and you need to trust that I can make good decisions. You're right. I guess I'll return that bubble wrap. And then the next day, she went into high gear and fixed everything. She got Diego out of detention and reported the shady guys to the cops who got arrested. And the next month, my dad got back on track. And Diego's dad got a job with my dad's pit crew, allowing Diego and his siblings to finally be adopted. Diego was so thankful that he made me a PB&J sandwich in the shape of a heart and asked me to be his girlfriend. I, of course, said yes and immediately called my mom to tell her. You called to tell me your happy news first? Well, yeah, you're my best friend and the best mom. I love you. I love you too, Jellyfish. I couldn't help but be so grateful that Diego taught me not to be so quick to judge someone. You never know, they could wind up being family.